I would like to begin the episode by thanking people like Shane McGray, Nicholas Sinlock, Robert Switzer, Weekend Warrior, and Cody Ford. All of these are folks who have gone to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and kicked us a few bucks a month and made this network possible. And you can go and do that too and get access to all kinds of bonus stuff as well. Once again, that is patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. And thank you.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we are talking about The Sinking City, which is a horror adventure game developed and published by Frogwares for the PC and contemporary systems in 2019.
Yeah. This episode is executive produced by Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our premium episode for the month, which means everybody's going to get this generalities part. And then patrons at $5 or up at patreon.com/duckfeedtv will get the entire episode.
Yes. And we encourage you to do it because the story in this, it features some neat stuff. Yeah. So in this, you play as Charles Reed. You are a private investigator, formerly in the Navy in World War I. You're a veteran diver. And you have traveled to the secluded city of Oakmont, Massachusetts, which is kind of the intersection of all points of Lovecraft lore. It's very funny. Everybody has showed up here, but you have ventured here to look for a cure for these nightmarish visions that are coming to you each night.
Yes. Yeah. And Oakmont is like a secret town. It's not on any maps. It's really hard to get to. There was this flood, this possibly, definitely supernatural, but from the outside, seemingly supernatural flood that happened 6 months ago. And it is basically breaking down.
Yeah.
In the narrative and in how it looks visually.
Yes. There's a madness taking over. Social order has decayed. There are monsters appearing. People are turning into monsters, etc., and down the line. And that's in addition to the cults.
Yes. Yeah. It's we'll talk about the individual Lovecraft stuff a little bit later in the notes.
Yeah.
But it's not just it's an intersection of lots of Lovecraft stuff, and then down to this is the, in terms of direct references, probably the most Lovecrafty game.
Yes.
Like your dude is the dude from Dagon.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you heard his backstory, I'm like, oh, it's the nameless main character from that.
Yeah.
Like, weird. He did a Dagon. This is a big Lovecraft stuff. And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I'm sick of Lovecraft, that racist old, like that stupid old Nazi, you may be surprised by how this handles some of that shit.
Yeah. It is interesting. They take some swings that had the possibility to be real or regrettable, and end up making them interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it generally works, which is a miracle. This is an open world game. You walk around Oakmont's 7 districts, and when we say open world, it doesn't have all those genre trappings. It features an open world.
Yes.
This big, huge city, basically realistically proportioned.
Mm-hmm.
And you use a little tiny motorboat to get around the flooded portions.
It's super cute. The ship that your character served on in World War I was the Cyclops, and your little boat that just kind of like warps around to the nearest dock wherever you're at. It's the Cyclops too, and it's a little putt-putt motorboat.
Yep, it's very cute. What's his name? Vanderberg. Did that for you. Like he's the one who put the boat there, and he did that little touch, and of course he would know.
Of course.
what your first boat was once we figure out who he is.
Yeah. Something
there
big.
is fast travel
Yeah.
in this. It's at payphones that you find. You have to actually visit them to activate them as nodes, and there aren't enough of them.
Nope.
This is this is a game, like, I mean, just getting it out here because it's going to sound, I don't want to sound overly negative.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many fucking problems with this game. It's a huge goddamn mess. And there are so many things that are straight up subtractive and don't work.
Yes.
Like, it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good. It is interesting. Like, the story pulled me along really well.
Yep.
Like, I think this game is better plotted than average, and certainly average for the show, but even for video games. Like, it's not it's not just Elysium, it's not masterful, but it's interesting. It's consistently like an interesting, well-told story.
Yeah.
Boy, does it have a lot of fucking pebbles in your shoe. And the number one pebble in your shoe is this open world.
Yes. This open world that really doesn't need to be there, honestly. Like, I can understand why this may have been the starting point, because the idea of having this big city where it's really difficult to know where to go, the complexity of the grid and all of this incident that can add to a sense of overwhelm, gives a lot of opportunity to show just there are so many people just like being executed on a street corner.
Yeah, it happens constantly.
Yeah.
But you're also going to run into a crew of like 7 people walking into a wall a bunch.
Yeah.
So
what it ultimately ends up being is a bunch of not space that is empty, but space that is empty of incident. It's really just there, I think, to put time between the crime scenes. The complexity of the space, I think, is captured entirely in the map, and going in and looking for the address of the next place on the cross streets, like, that's kind of enough for me.
It's kind of neat what this introduced to me as an idea, which I'm sure we talked about before in some other game, but additive but insufficient.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it is cool to get lost in this. It is cool to navigate. It's cool to go from neighborhood to neighborhood and see the economic strata, the shades of dark gray and black in this horrible area. That's neat.
Yes.
Like, you cross over into another zone. The idea of these infested zones that are blockaded off and things like that, all that stuff is neat, and it is additive. It doesn't add enough over the course of the game to purchase the frustration, and it couples with the second big flaw, which we'll talk about later, which is the quest design, which we'll talk about. Not the narrative content of the quest, but the actual quest design. So you end up, since you're constantly just being, I would say it feels like 40% of your playtime in this game is just being told to go somewhere and then getting there.
Yep.
And it's maddening. Like, it is, and not in a cool Lovecraft way. Like, if you wanted to be obtuse, you could be like, that's the idea. Yeah. It's supposed to frustrate you, like you're lost in a dream. No. And if so, fuck off, because that's it's too much, and it is additive. You can make the argument, but it wasn't additive for the entire length of the experience for me, or even really close.
It wears out its welcome super quick. So, like, my pro tip for anybody playing this is, wherever you go, make a beeline for as many fast travel points as you can, so that in the back half of the game, you're not going to need to be doing the footwork as you're kind of going between places. There are not enough of them, but it's kind of a game of outrunning this open world wearing out its welcome on you. It is let's say, a not trivial amount of friction that this provides.
Yeah. And I will say, in the game's credit, like, the fast travel points are thoughtfully placed, in terms of proximity to frequent travel points.
Yes.
It's just, again, it's just not quite enough. And I also, unlocking them, I didn't get a lot, like, walking there the first time on my own.
Yeah.
It just, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
I would have liked a more richly detailed, smaller world.
Agreed.
like very much so.
Yeah.
That we talked about the streets being devoid of incident, just all the street executions. I just want to underline that because it's surprising. Like you can't talk to people.
No.
Not even to get like a random, just like go to hell, stranger. And people do not go about unless they're part of these individual scenes where they're being executed. Yeah. They just wander.
Yeah.
Like there's no AI so it ends up feeling not like what you want to have the feeling of is like a big like bustling city. Mm-hmm. You don't get that. It's not Spider-Man.
Right.
It doesn't feel like a city that's alive. It feels like a city that's full of sleepwalking zombies in a video game way as opposed to in a horror way.
The closest comparison I can make, and there are a lot of comparisons that can be made to this, is the city in LA Noire. Where
Sure.
That open world didn't need to be there. That had the benefit of being like historically accurate. However, you could
drive in it.
Yeah, you could drive in it, but you could also sit in the passenger seat and then do the equivalent of fast travel where you get the dialogue that you would have gotten on the way. And then you get a loading screen and suddenly you're at the next crime scene, right?
That was better.
Yeah. And something that is, I think, true about this is that though the streets are open to you and you can go anywhere at any time, this is a maddeningly linear game. It's not very much where you are kind of just can go to a place and find something that may be a loose end for somewhere else. This is, taking you through beat by beat through this flow of investigating a case to the few buildings that actually have an interior to them.
Yeah. I think this game does, as far as a detective game goes, I think it does an okay job of obfuscating that.
Yeah.
Like you feel a little bit like you're doing detective stuff, but you're not really.
Right.
And we'll get into that, but it's not a real detective game in that you are not, even when you turn off the like automatic deductions thing, which you should do because they're not hard to do. Mm-hmm. The amount of actual intuitive leaps you're making are pretty low.
Yeah. And also there should be a caveat about this. I streamed this game a couple of years ago, like shortly after it first came out. And that was my first time playing it. I enjoyed it. I was really positive on it. This is like almost like uniquely in mystery games, less satisfying on the second go.
I believe that.
Because that scaffolding, the structure is kind of laid more bare for you. If you are not kind of being drawn along by a genuine sense of not knowing what's going to come next.
Yeah, it doesn't hide it as well.
Yeah,
like once you know it, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
The good part of this game happens at crime scenes. So you navigate this open world. You eventually get down to a crime scene, and this is where you're looking for clues. The game will let you know when you found your clues. You found all the key evidence and all the regular evidence. This is not difficult.
No.
The game will, you have a supernatural vision. You can go in detective vision, and you'll have little ghosts that show you where everything is.
Yeah.
You can also go into kind of see past events. There are things you can do telemetry. I think is the word for it, where you pick up an item or psychometry. There it is. Yeah. You pick up an item and you can learn its history.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yeah. So you'll see like a still and you will get the dialogue. So, that might be a place to hear a name that you can ask somebody about or a particular detail that you can go and look up in an archive. Right. And that's good. And that can happen either like at a particular prop in the environment or when you're picking up and holding a clue, like an object, you like rotate it and see like a blood stain and then you can activate your sight.
Yep. It does undercut some of the real detective work you could be doing.
Yep.
You just like, it's not like just getting additional context or guesses. Like you literally get name drops from this stuff that you then go and research at the archives.
I can't believe I was shot by Randall, who lives on Arthur Jermyn Street at the cross street of Innsmouth.
Of Innsmouth and Miskatonic. Damn. Yeah. And then it's like, Arthur Jermyn. And then it just teaches you. You just find out the thing.
Yeah. Your site can also be used to dispel illusions. So these are like illusory walls, or there are like occult objects that are disguised as something seemingly benign, right?
Can I this in just terms of like me being a simpleton,
Okay.
right? I love these. Like, I
Yeah.
understand it's really simple. I thought this was the first time, like, I was like, oh, like a witch put a wall here
Uh-huh.
and it looks completely natural, but there's a hidden room.
Yep.
That was a really cool moment for me. Like, I thought these were really neat. And it's just me being shown a magic trick. Like, it's just me being like a 4-year-old, like clapping at a quarter that's been pulled out of his ear. But
Yeah.
I'm really liked them.
It runs a little bit of a gamut for me. Like there's the cool ones where like, oh, this wall has like a little sigil drawn on it. Like maybe I should go into the site and see. And there's a like a screen indication, like the edges of the screen get brighter when you're near something that you need to use your sight on. So yeah, it's really cool when it's used to like hide a room, you know, putting up this illusory wall, or to like oh, there's a diary that I'm looking for and it's hidden on this desk or whatever. So suddenly I can see it. There are some ways that they use it where it's like you walk into a church and it's like, ooh, a pretty statue of an angel. Yes. And then sight. Oh no, it's a Shayeth. No.
Scream. George got here first. Oh no. Like, it's religion, but it's twisted.
Yeah, screaming Mad George is at it again.
Oh, damn it. Like,
yeah.
what if it's a little bit different? The Jim Rose Psycho Circus has gotten to this church before me. No.
And you, like, looked at just by itself, it is absurd as part of a whole scene, you know, where you're walking into this church and like, oh no, this is actually some occult shit. That is classic Lovecraftian kind of stuff, and that's cool. But like as a use for this mechanic, it is pretty funny.
It's very silly because I don't know who they're hiding it from.
Yep.
Like there's no like anything goes in this town. Like I don't think that it's necessarily, you know, you got to hide your evil statues in this town.
Right.
There's a lot of just dead octopi on the street. Like, you know, this isn't the fucking Hyatt. Like the decorum is out the window. You know.
I mean, for some types, it is a utopia. This place.
Yeah. I love with this little glamour thing. I think it's very funny when you're looking for something very mundane on a desk, like a letter, and somebody has glamored it to be this like Eldritch non-Euclidean statue.
Yep.
And you just bypass that without thinking about it. You're like,
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen like 10 of these. It's fine.
and then it dissolves into like just a piece of paper, and you're like, ooh.
It's hidden in plain sight. It is your purloined letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing you do is this thing called retrocognition. So you find enough clues, and then you get this like little like rip in reality you can walk through, and go to this foggy version of the world, and there are little nodes that will play different scenes about what happened there, which you then have to put in order by putting a big number on them.
Yes.
This is disappointing to me. There's very rarely is there like any ambiguity as to what order these things would happen in.
Yeah, I wish this was more complicated. Usually it's like, okay, the one near the entrance is them arriving. The one kind of midway through is, oh no, the intruders are noticed, and the one deepest in is the person who lives there being killed. Like you just literally like straight up walk a line. There's again very little like deduction or leaps that need to be taken within these things themselves. And I understand that in some sense, I'm asking this to be a different game than it is. But like, I don't know, who is this for? Because it just kind of seems easy enough that you're just doing a little input chore.
Yeah, but not the game, but this specific little bit.
Yeah,
like it reminds me, of. I like this game better than I like Paradise Killer, but it reminds me of that in that it's just a way to read a mystery out of in a different order.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I just think it's a better mystery. Like I think it's a more interesting story.
Yes.
In this, and that actually is a huge point of comparison for this. I didn't really think about that, but that also has a big open world that like you have to spend a lot of time getting between nodes, you know, in it. I don't, these ended up being disappointing. The first time they show up, it's really neat.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, oh, this one's really easy because it's the first one. These are going to be puzzles. They're really not.
Yeah. There's a complexity or difficulty that is implied, that could be possible here that is not borne out.
So it needed a little bit more rigor with this, I think.
Yeah. I want to feel like a smart good boy, for figuring this out.
I don't even need to feel smart. I just want it to be interaction.
Yeah.
I want to use my brain. Like I don't need a reward point by any means. I just want it to be a challenging task.
Yes.
For the intrinsic value of doing a challenging task.
Yeah. That's I think what I was getting at, albeit glibly. Yeah.
When you do this, you get things that are added to your casebook. You keep studious notes of this to kind of put together your mysteries. These will give you kind of locations to investigate. And when you do this, there are no addresses here. It's just a district and then cross streets.
Yes.
Between this street and the street on this street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you have to go and put a little marker on your map, fast travel to whatever's nearest, and then do the legwork to get there.
Yeah. Sometimes the big part of this, and where it kind of gets at Sherlock Holmes, this developer made Sherlock Holmes games basically. DNA is the research section of this. So you some clues will just give you a name, or they'll be like, "Oh, make sure you burn all the advertisements in the paper as well." Like you see some people destroyed evidence, so you have to go to the library and do kind of like a little semi-Boolean search.
Yeah, like
to get the right thing.
It's like four different categories that you can choose specific things from. So it's like, is it before or after the flood? Is it from ancient history, or is it from the past few years? Like, which district is this about? Like if it's the police archives, like, are you looking for evidence, or are you looking for like the instruments of the crime, right?
Yes.
And you have to, select the piece of evidence that you're trying to research, and then make some guesses about which triangulation of these categories will pull up the right thing for you. This is cool. I like this quite a bit.
I like it too. It's not challenging,
right?
It just it obscures the lack of puzzle to it. It did make me like, this is a weird game where I feel like it would be better if it took place now.
Yeah,
because having this on your phone would be great.
Yes.
Like I deeply resented going to 3 separate research hubs for this shit. Just in terms of that, like that open world tax this game takes. Like, I like the idea of these different research things. I wish I could have just checked out my Newton or whatever.
Yeah. Agreed.
But it is fun every time it pops up. And it's very, this is something that is more of a general thing. This is such a good adaptation on accident of the Call of Cthulhu tabletop game. Better than the actual adaptation.
Absolutely.
Because of stuff like this. Like, this is straight up Call of Cthulhu tabletop game shit.
Specifically like figuring out which question to ask of who, or of what body of text, right?
Yep. Like what keyword to research and where is classic.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. I dig this.
What is worse is the dialogue. You're not getting a lot of, you're not doing a lot of interrogations, and you're not getting a lot of information from people that is useful.
Yeah.
You get some, you can sometimes speak to witnesses and stuff, but it's very linear. There aren't any like adversarial or mechanically rich conversations.
Right.
This could have really benefited from that. I wish they had just like lifted that from LA Noire, because that's a cool part of LA Noire. I would have really liked a system for that.
Yeah. If somebody is lying to you, there's just like an option that says, you're lying to me, tell me more. There's really kind of no way to fail this. There are some conversations where you can rush it to a confrontation, to a fight earlier. And you can also like, I don't know, you're not even really making decisions in the moment. Like, they'll ask you to do something horrible. And no matter what, even if you say no, they'll give you what you need to do the thing they're asking. And they'll say, yeah, just mull it over. But it's not something that happens within the dialogue system. It's something that, it's a choice that you make about where you go and what you do next. Yeah.
Like Fallout 4.
Yes.
Which is pretty damning. Like you don't want a Fallout 4-esque dialogue system.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad, but it has that in common. Like, your only choice is what you do. You are the player. You're not really playing as the character.
Right.
There are a couple of satisfying moments where you can optionally like call somebody out, and there are a couple of times you get to choose, 2 conversational options will be mutually exclusive, but they each just provide flavor.
Yeah.
And you are choosing which of the 2 flavors you get. But they're rare, and they also drop off as the game goes on. Like, as you stop interfacing with Throgmorton,
Yes.
you get fewer and fewer of these kind of interesting things. It still happens, but it happens less.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the point where I should say, like, even though the dialogue system is not good, the actual dialogue is good. Like, the characters are well sketched. Reed is interesting and good. His actor does a good job of just kind of like hitting the weary and sarcastic without like laying it on too thick with it. Like, the stuff that happens in this is engaging. It's just, I wish that there was more, kind of more meat on the bones here mechanically, and that can broadly be read into a bunch of stuff here. Like, the text is good, but the way it's exposed, I wish that there was more to it.
Same. Yeah. Again, everything kind of narrative about this, I'm pretty on board with.
Yeah.
I want to say that the performances are pretty hit and miss. Sometimes you get like a really good over the top performance. Every once in a while, you get something pretty groan worthy that will come out of somebody, and it does interfere.
Yeah.
With the game, like somebody who is meant to be kind of a cool, important character, sucks.
Yeah.
Like, their voice acting is just not up to snuff, and it's not as good as it could be.
Yeah.
So, when you learn things about the various cases and the kind of macro case, you go into a screen called your mind palace. And this is where you pair off your facts to make deductions. This is something where you can make this automatic, but I don't know why you would. This is the game. It's pretty easy. Like, at most you have like maybe 6 of these. So there aren't that many combinations of 2.
Right.
That you can do. But my favorite part about this is sometimes you will get to ambiguous conclusions. Like, you get to actually make a decision. It doesn't have a lot of impact or any impact at all, really.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. But I like the idea of like, these facts lead to 1 or 2 conclusions. I'm out of facts to get, so I have to make a decision. I think that's a cool part, like a cool thing that happens in this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is more, I think, for your own reference than anything else. Like, when you get to that, like this often, like an example that happens a few times in this is, somebody has done something wrong. Either they hurt you or they hurt somebody else. You get to decide if the extenuating circumstances are enough to, give them the benefit of the doubt, or if you should be tough with them. Dialing that in doesn't really make a difference mechanically. You still have to go about it, but like, this is kind of presenting to you like, yes, this is the choice for you to make when you get there.
Yeah. So, agreed.
Yeah. This is a streamlined version of what Frogwares came up with for Sherlock Holmes, the more recent Sherlock Holmes games, the Crime and Punishments and the Devil's Daughter. I understand that those are really good. Specifically, when I was streaming this, people were saying like, oh yeah, those don't do any of the open world stuff. That's just a bunch of really cool crime scenes where you're doing all of the investigation stuff and then putting it together. Yeah.
Playing this made me super horny to play those. And because I have other assignment play stuff, I am not able to just like start them. But right. It did make me think like, man, I'm going to pick one of those as a vanity pick one of these times. Yeah. So we could do them, because they have a lot in common with the tabletop Sherlock Holmes consulting detective games. And those things are rad. If you never played one of those, Cole, like, they solo play just fine.
There's a really good mobile version that I fucked around with. It's really good.
Sweet. Yeah. It's cool. Like, I like that stuff quite a bit, despite having no real attachment for Sherlock Holmes as a character. I like that he's a opium-addled piece of shit, but the game recognized game. But I just like that. I like crime scenes and I like mysteries.
Yeah, just a good participatory mystery that is, that has more, more input from me than just reading a kind of a boilerplate like mystery novel, right?
Same. I like mysteries to be interactive.
Yeah.
Like, I understand if you're reading a non-interactive mystery, you get to make your guesses and stuff. I'll save you the time. The person who was killed is actually alive.
Usually. And it's usually a crooked real estate developer who is dressed up as some kind of monster to scare off investors. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that.
Yeah. So
we don't.
That's the like that is the cool mystery stuff, right? Good mystery.
Let's get neck deep in the shit for a minute.
Good mysteries, bad systems, and now we are into the bad stuff. So you read the character you play as. You have a health bar and a sanity bar. If you look at disturbing things, the sanity will drain. Also, certain encounters will cause your sanity to drain. Sometimes using your sight will cause that to happen. This drops off as things go on. I don't know if they just kind of forgot that system existed, or if they're trying to say that Reed is getting like acclimated to what's happening here. But when your sanity is low, you'll start seeing spectral enemies that'll cause damage to you. You'll see like chests that aren't there, like to loot, and they just kind of go away when you try and use them. Stuff like that.
The dorkiest one is seeing your own body hung.
Yep.
Like a weird superimposed Nine Inch Nails video thing you get.
Yep. I love the doctor who looks kind of like Roger Stone walking at you with a scalpel.
Yeah, the little overlays, like the Final Fantasy Tactics summons of people dying. You get, I referenced Screaming Mad George earlier. Like that kind of edgy, you bring me closer to God shit pops up a lot of the time when your sanity's low.
Oh, I love it.
This system is 100% underbaked and shitty. It's just another health meter you manage.
Yeah.
Except you're managing annoyance rather than whether you die.
Yeah. This is just like, okay, how hard is it to look around and see? It just puts those beer goggles on that like the cops came to your school and, before prom and said, this is what it's like to be drunk.
Trying to scare you straight into constantly injecting yourself with antipsychotics.
Yep. An antipsychotic that is made of a coil, like a spring, and alcohol.
Yep. I think you're just straightening out the coil into a needle.
Yep.
And just rubbing alcohol directly into your blood.
Yeah. That or you're sterilizing the needle and then the spring and just pushing it into you. I think you're trying to do like a Tetsuo the Iron Man kind of thing.
Sure. Springdinger's on patrol. The subtitle for this. You also have a health bar, and that comes into play with the combat in this. Throwing some combat into a game, why not?
Yeah.
It's really rough. No enemy in this feels like it's designed for this game.
No.
Like this is so dissonant. Again, if you want to Monday morning quarterback, like something that I'm sure I've complained about this before on the network, one of my least favorite things that people do in general is they treat anything that they hear in the world as a puzzle. Right. So whenever you hear like, hey, this combat is really clunky and the enemies dodge and you waste a lot of bullets, there's an impulse out there where somebody's like, oh, what they're doing is they're trying to emulate the disempowerment that comes with being a Lovecraft protagonist. And it's like, yes, that does square the equation.
Yeah.
And yes, you're a very special good boy for coming up with maybe the idea behind it.
Yeah.
But finding the idea behind it is not necessarily the worthy goal behind this. When this game with its, pretty famously troubled production, it's more likely they just kind of goofed it.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's still a good game. Like it's not damning. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to make the devs feel bad for fucking this up. It's just pretty shitty. It's not only does it not feel good, like I'm not expecting it to feel like, like a good FPS. It feels awful.
It feels like it was designed to have none of the elements of it support any of the other elements. The slowness of your character and kind of like the looseness of your aiming is very, very poorly matched with the kinds of encounters that they put into this. Right. Yes. The slowness of your movement makes it so that there's really not much you can do to avoid taking damage. So walking into any house, especially in a flooded or infested district, is really just kind of like a medkit tax. On and on down the line. Like nothing really supports anything else. There's no like synthesis going on, or no good synthesis, right? And that is a problem. Regardless of how justified it is still really bad in your hands. And
regardless of how you could justify it, if it was like a dare,
right?
Like if you're looking at this like a junior jumble to justify, you can justify it, but you don't have to.
Yeah. And the end result is still unarguable. Yeah.
It's there's lots of individual problems to this. It's not an abstract, like, feels icky, right?
Yeah.
So the main enemy you run into, the bread and butter Goomba enemy that you're going to run into the most, jumps around and dodges bullets a lot. And you aim and move things really slowly.
Yeah.
There is almost no feedback when you get hit.
Right.
So, like, you can find yourself with incredibly low health without really even realizing it at all. Here. There is a surprisingly large number of weapons, traps, and throwables.
Yep.
For no goddamn good reason. Like, you have a Doom arsenal in this thing. And this, I want to say synergizes, but it's to no good end. Synergizes with this crafting system.
Yeah.
That is, like, worst in class superfluous.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just rather found the stuff. And this isn't like me just being against crafting. Like, we just, I keep making comparisons to Fallout 4, which is strange, but there are things that this hasn't gone with it. That is a crafting system that at least, like, justifies itself.
Yeah.
By being a primary mechanic, this felt like we have to throw in a crafting system because that's what big open world games do.
Right.
It's it's a tedious pain to go and gather up all your springs and alcohol and pieces of cloth from an infested zone to re-up your arbitrary limit of health kits and bullets.
Yeah. Or
you have here,
more accurately, the cap on the number of components you can carry is real low, even with the skill points you can put in. Yeah, there's a skill tree in this, weirdly.
And it's awful wretched.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wretched. None of the things feel good to upgrade, even a little bit.
And all of it is related either to combat resources or, like, how much experience you get.
Yeah, all things that and the experience only gives you more skill points.
Right. Yep.
Like, you put skill points in to get more health, so you die less often, so you can do more of the investigation stuff.
Yeah.
Without having to, like, take a little play a worse game tax.
Yeah. So, like, the ratio that you get when you go to a crime scene is, it feels like it's 1-to-1, like, going up and interacting with something, and it is a clue that you need to interact with that'll add to your casebook or your mind palace. And the other half is all little cabinets that you can open up, like, you hold down the button to loot everything in it. And
scrounging in this game.
And it's bad scrounging. I like scrounging in a game. But you'll open it up, and then it'll, like, half of the things will say can't carry anymore, can't carry anymore.
Yeah.
So that is that is the clue to you to go in and use up all your craftables so you can get that other stuff if you don't want to forego those pickupables and possibly fall behind some kind of resource curve.
Yeah, that's it's like Horizon Zero Dawn in that way.
Yeah,
where, like, I don't. Other than a spring and alcohol and cloth, I don't know what any of the components are, and they had no individual meaning to me.
Right.
It was just, when I would scrounge something, get a big pile of things I can't carry, just icons I didn't care about. Screen gets a firework of garbage.
Yeah.
And then I had to go do the crafting tax.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. The one thing I can say to it is that the systems do work out to where you are constantly, down on your last, like, 2 or 3 bullets,
Yeah.
And, this forces you to switch weapons, because different weapons use different kinds of ammo, and each of those have different, different costs. That falls down when you realize that there's nothing good to shoot. And if your weapon is out, you're kind of by default not having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Little pro tip, anybody who's playing this, when you go into your weapon wheel, things go into bullet time, and you can no longer aim, but you can still move. So what I did was I aimed forward, went into bullet time, and then slowly moved my character around until the gun happened to be pointing at the enemy, and then shot. So I cheated bullet time into this to try to make the combat less of a thing.
Yeah.
And it works. It's really artificial and shitty. It's not how the game is meant to be played, but it does allow you to bypass the weakest part of the game a lot of the time.
I want to talk just real quick about the basic enemies, and this is a move that kind of, like, a lot of them do. Them dodging would be fine, enemies dodge or whatever, but, like, this is, like, a very bad very bad shooter where the enemy knows if your cursor is over them, and their reaction is to jump to the side immediately and force you to move over and catch up with them with your crosshair. Their awareness of when your crosshair is over them feels like it is explicitly designed to make you waste ammo.
Yeah, it's a bad dodge.
Yes,
like you want a dodge that you can predict and you can counteract, not just an automatic jump over, just an automatic miss.
Yes.
Like a Morrowind dodge, is not what you want.
Yeah.
Pretty frustrating. In the logic of the game, because it is so edgy, instead of money, everyone uses bullets there instead of cash. This doesn't really make that big of a difference to you, because you find stuff to make bullets like 20 times over in everyone's cabinets. It'd be like everybody had 50-cent pieces just everywhere, that they weren't using.
Yeah.
A cool idea, but there's no, and they also say it's a barter economy. You can do no bartering.
No.
There's not really an economy in the game.
Yeah. There's nothing to buy. Is the deal. There's no like shops or anything. So to call it an economy, in reality, what it is, it's like, hey, hand over some of your resources to bribe maybe one or two NPCs in very particular interactions.
Yeah, very rare. And when you do a quest, you get a big pile of throwables and traps. And I mean, we could just go on about this shit. Like the traps are so irritating. In this, like there's a whole branch of your skill tree dedicated to like a trap build.
Yeah.
I would defy anyone to make that work. Enemies just like don't step in them a lot of the time because they don't behave predictably.
No.
And you don't have a lot of choke points where you'd want to use traps, and the encounters are not paced as such to where traps would be useful. There's not enough enemies. There's humans, and then there's 4 critters.
Yeah.
With real minor variations, again, kind of like Fallout. Like every once in a while, they can turn invisible or something like that.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad. We don't want to talk about it too much in the body of the episode.
Right.
Just know that like when we're like, you do some combat, just know that it sucks shit. It's never good.
Yeah. And it pretty much always happens right when you arrive at a crime scene, because these things in the story, they're called wild beasts. They're attracted to blood and dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who isn't? Crash. By David Cronenberg. Big bummer. Big bummer. Bummer.
Yeah. Let's talk about stuff that works better. The atmosphere in this is good. The decay everywhere is sold really well. This has to be one of the worst smelling environments that has ever been in video games.
Yeah. Yeah, just dead octopi on the streets left and right.
All the mold.
Everything's wet. Yeah, like every once in a while you end up in a wealthy person's house and it looks like a house.
Yep.
Everyone else, it's Fallout levels of like, yeah, that's my soiled mattress. What of it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting on airs. I'm not going to use a sheet.
Yeah, I'm not going to fix that hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, I sleep under that. Sometimes the rain is warm and someone gets in my mouth. It's nutritious.
Yeah, and how else am I supposed to see the stars? You want to take the sky away from me? You bastard.
That's cow poking. I'm going to stand for that.
The dank. Yeah.
Yeah, the dank. You ain't going to get rid of the dank, are you, in Oakmont? Pretty incredible for like a town with a functioning university and shit. Just
oh man. The character models and animations, like you'll see this in reviews saying like, yeah, it's kind of amateurly done or whatever. I think that works. I think that the weird human monsters that you see, like even before you get to the people with Innsmouth syndrome, which are portrayed really well. It's a really good visual indication of that.
The regular people look like they're from Innsmouth as well.
Yes.
But they look like how they describe them in the story. And then the actual people from Innsmouth in this are really exaggerated creatures from the Black Lagoon. Very funny.
Yeah.
There's a real dearth of faces. Like there's the black dude.
Yep.
And it's the same one. And you meet him like 6 times.
Yeah, I called him Black Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like big bug eyes, or like Black Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, just a lot of like. There's one big-eyed black dude model that is just consistently used and used again.
Yeah.
So pretty ridiculous there. As we mentioned, the writing and dialogue and the actual like storytelling, I was consistently interested in what was happening, and cool things were happening.
Yes.
In this, neat things of interest happen. There are some legitimately like pretty fun characters. I like the librarian a lot.
Yep.
I think she's really cool. There's some really good characters in this. Last chance for spoilers, because we're going to get into it. The main plot of this, I shit you not, is a Dark Souls-esque. Should you restart the cycle?
Yep.
I lost my mind. I yelled at my my Switch.
Yeah.
It was a Switch drop-in moment.
Oh, you played this on the Switch. How did it run?
I did. It's fine. I think that reports of it being running like shitty are greatly exaggerated. The worst thing about it is that it's like takes a fraction of a second to open up the map.
Okay.
Like enough to where you notice, which was a bummer.
Yeah. No.
But it was worth it for the trade-off of playing in bed and playing in my comfy recliner.
Yeah, that makes sense. I played it on the PS4 or PS5 this time. Yeah.
It's not I would never recommend someone do it on that, but since I had already bought it, I was like, I'll in for a penny, in for a pound, and it is not as bad as people say.
That's good. Yeah. No, it's but yeah, the fact that it kind of comes down to that, and I don't know, maybe we're particularly positioned to be over that as a plot device. You know, the cycle. You know, basically like the world. Is it good? You know, is it worth buying? Enough time for people to be even more miserable, or do we give in to the inevitable? Right. If
you're
loses,
like we are positioned that way.
Yeah.
If you're somehow not sick of that, like, have you been paying attention to video games at all for the last decade?
Right.
Because it happens constantly. It's like the question video games are asking.
Yeah.
So.
the world, is it any good? Yeah. So that is, you know, some of the problem. One thing that I like at the kind of the broad plot level, or at least the way that this is the way that this is structured, it's very episodic. This is a long game.
Yes.
You know, this is like it is like a 18 hour game if you're going through it the first time, probably. That is broken up into roughly 1 hour cases that you're doing before you move on and, you know, do some favors for some other people, or, you know, get like the next person that you need to talk to help to, you know, advance your quest to figure out what is going on with these visions and what it has to do with the flooding here in Oakmont. That episodic structure I think is really good, and it serves this really well, because, you know, if you're bummed out by what's happening here, just wait a little bit and you'll get a cool micro mystery there to re-up your interest level in a little bit.
Yeah, and you can it works really well with side quests, which the quest design in general we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
But I do like taking a break from the main quest.
Yeah.
To go deal with something else. It doesn't make any ludonarrative sense generally to do it. You know, you talk a lot about how you're a mercenary and you do it for pay.
Yeah.
And then you just get more bullets, which you waste doing the quests. You know, you're not going to retire on these bullets. But it helps the pacing a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let me talk about quest design real quick, because it ties into the side quest, but it's a problem in the main quest as well. I am done with video games getting somewhere and having someone tell me to go somewhere else.
Yes.
As a thing. And that's every single one of these. Every quest in this is you going, someone says, you know, Johnny Fishlips will know this. You go talk to Johnny Fishlips. Johnny Fishlips says, I can tell you, but you got to do me a favor. Go over and talk to, you know, AP McGee. You go talk to AP McGee, who's like, I do know this, but you have to do me a favor. Go talk to Algernon Blackwood reference. You talk to Algernon Blackwood reference, who says, I can do that for you, but you have to do me this favor. And it's so nested.
Yeah.
Like, it's maddening. And this game has a sense of humor. in general, which I appreciate. And your character will comment on this.
Yeah.
That is not enough. You cannot just acknowledge a problem and have that be enough to excuse it. That is again, the kind of people who treat anything as everything they hear as a puzzle will do that as well. Like the same people are like, well, at least they make fun of it. I appreciate that. And I'm like, why are you diving on a grenade to excuse this irritating thing?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that they acknowledge it. It's really shitty quest design. It's really irritating. And when going back and forth to these things are this open world travel tax that oftentimes involves some incidental combat.
Yeah.
It's a big burden to feel. It's really, really nakedly bad. There
are two things it comments on. First, being an errand boy, which is just video games, but I really agree. If you're joking about it, it means it's a problem. It's, it's like walking into somebody's house and then they say like, oh, you smell that? Yeah, okay, you're joking about the smell. That means you can find the source and solve it.
Yeah. Or you apologize for it.
Yeah.
Hey, development time got really crunchy.
Yeah.
I had a trouble development. I can't find the source of this smell.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's being an errand boy, and then it's also, again, hitting the same note over and over again. Somebody will say, hey, go meet my buddy X, Y, or Z, and you'll arrive and everybody will be dead. And that time to figure out what went on, which is, this is a mystery game, but it hits at the same time. And eventually Reed starts joking like, oh, and I thought for once I would get here before something happened. Right.
Yeah. It's weirdly enough, it's a huge problem in Professor Layton as well, which we're doing. Characters just saying like, "Hey, tell go here," instead. It's maddening. It's really rotten design because it contributed to a lot of feelings of frustration and friction with this. And then when it comes to, in the main plot, at the very least, you're advancing something when you do this. The side quest for this, it's just little scavenger hunts, basically.
Yeah.
Like go around and get all these things. It's still go to one thing and then just go to the next one. But it's worse because typically, like some of them have really cool stories to them. Most of them do not.
Yeah, a lot of them are like they don't even have NPCs that you talk to about it. It's just getting a little bit of text or getting a little scene and a retrocognition, stuff like that. You may be hearing this, and if you have not seen or played this game in person, you may think, okay, this is a wide open world, and you're going to a bunch of different places. At the very least, there's variety to this. The way that everything is designed, we talked about the character models being reused in this, and that's fine. What is a little bit less excusable to me is that pretty much every building is cookie
Everyone
cutter.
Has that basement.
Every building that you can go into kind of like falls into one or two biomes. So it's an apartment building, it's a rich person's house, it's a poor person's house, it is a factory, flooded version or not flooded version. It feels like weirdly anonymous and proc gen in a way that I think undercuts some of the horror that is that potentially could come across, and definitely doesn't alleviate the tedium with novelty.
It's not even just a different biome. It's the same floor plan.
Yes.
A lot of the time. When I said that basement, I mean it. Like there's a basement with a tiny room behind the stairs or a little nook that usually the big monster is hiding under. In this little nook. Like it happens many times in this. And all this is budgetary stuff. Like this is a AA game.
Yes.
I don't want to beat up on them for not having the resources of a big publisher, but there is a fault there in terms of not making something within the scope that you could make it.
Yeah.
That is where like a criticism can lie, I think.
Yeah. I feel, the amount of resources they had is the amount of resources they had, and the game should be judged based on, based on the total. However, we can see them using the resources in kind of a suboptimal way, building a big explorable city that looks pretty resource intensive, regardless of how they developed it. When those resources could have gone to making a smaller number of more highly detailed and differentiated spaces. It feels like a strange design decision to me.
Especially in this kind of mystery where like one of the great joy, you're in these fucked up people's houses.
Yep.
I love exploring a fucked up person's house.
It's great.
It's the best, but I want it to be bespoke. It needs to be fucked up in their individual way.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't happen quite enough
Yes.
in this. Big, trouble development, as we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
In 2014, or it's worth noting too, the other thing, the way this handles Cthulhu Mythos shit, it's full of really deep cuts.
Yeah.
In it, which I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
It's also modernizing and updating them in a way that does not feel eye-rolly.
Right.
Like the fact that there's a street gang called the Yellow Kings should make me roll my eyes, but it doesn't.
Right.
It actually feels pretty cool in this. All that stuff is actually really weirdly good.
Yeah.
And the individual bits of how it handles the racism play in this, we'll get into as it shows up, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like the people are racist against Innsmouthers because they're creatures from the Black Lagoon, but they're racist against them in ways that are portrayed non-sympathetically, are mirror the way that real life racists are racist against minorities now. Like they're refugees and they're taking our jobs, and it exists alongside like Black folk and people of color and everything who are doing fine.
Yes.
Like this society is actually good to people of color and women for the time.
Yes.
So it ends up being like kind of an appropriate flavor to it.
The decision to have this be set after the Shadow over Innsmouth and having those people displaced and recasting the question of, what is going on there as a refugee problem feels like a very canny way to update this to modern times.
Yeah. And when you have your Arthur German, you have your ape man, right? It's not an allegory.
No.
For, it erases the allegory of that story. Like, that the Arthur German, the H.P. Lovecraft story, which has the big silly racist end where it's like, my grandpa had sex with an ape.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up? What could an ape be?
Yeah.
That's real bad. In here, it's just like, my grandpa had sex with an ape. I'm part ape, but I'm also like wealthy and I'm bigoted against the fish people. But in general, like I'm trying to do right by folk.
Yeah.
Like there's a sense like you can get, this person is a pillar of society. He is, he is the waspy privileged dude that would be, who would be looking down on Arthur German.
Yes.
In the Arthur German story.
Yeah.
It flips enough of this stuff on its head. Now, gigantic caveat, us saying that this works for us, we have a limited perspective, obviously. We are not the people who are, victims of Lovecraft's racism, right? Like
quite literally, I have no skin in the game.
Yes, exactly. Like I would love to read, people of color's take on this.
Yes.
Whether they thought it did well. We can only speak from our perspective. From my perspective, I think it handles it pretty deftly and it works better than you think it would.
Yeah.
But don't just listen to me.
Yes.
Like, and if you're a person of color listening to this and you're like, who are these dumbass white boys saying that racism is okay? We're not.
Yeah.
If this is offensive in a way that I'm not seeing, that is my limited perspective. I'm willing to hear other perspectives. It's just the one that I happen to have.
Yeah. My perspective on this kind of purely academic, knowing how the original stories go and kind of knowing like what, more modern interpretations of this are. And like a lot of the times the cosmic horror is just kind of like updated without, or is just kind of like retold without any real reevaluation of what was attempting to be said in those original stories. It's just kind of presented to where it becomes, that depiction has become a trope in and of itself. This is making some very deliberate choices with the way that it is reframing those original things. And that is interesting. It is more than other developers and other storytellers who are working in Lovecraftian kind of spaces tend to do. And I think that the fact that they attempted it and also succeeded is remarkable. Even if I can't speak to whether or not it is fully landing the way that it needs to. Right.
They even say that, right? Yeah. Like when you start the game, they're like, "Hey, Lovecraft is really racist it was these stories took place in a super racist time, the 20s. We don't want to pretend like that didn't exist. So we're looking at it head on. It would be silly just to pretend that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Or didn't happen. And that's something that I generally agree with. Again, from my super limited perspective, like if I'm wrong in that, or that is just like a 41-year-old white dude's perspective and should be dismissed, dismiss me, fam.
Please.
Yeah. All I got is what I have. So.
Yeah.
So in 2014, Frogwares was going to develop the official Call of Cthulhu video game. We've also covered that. We covered that in episode 251 in October of 2019. And this seemed like a natural fit for them. They worked on a game called Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened, which takes place in the Mythos. Quick side note, that game is very funny. It's pretty good. And then you go to America and you and Watson chase like a hog.
Yep.
To banjo music during a part of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, there is a Dixieland banjo chase that happens down the streets of New Orleans.
Are you chasing a hog? In my mind, you're chasing a hog, but I haven't played it since like 10 years.
I streamed it like 4 or 5 years ago, so it's hard to say specifically. I forget what you're doing.
Fucking boss hog music.
I can't remember if you're chasing a hog, but it's also like relying on physics quite a bit. So like, you're doing like a lot of like swinging and like jumping on like, precarious platforms that are tilting, and you're just picturing Sherlock Holmes and his deerstalker
like
cat
Sherlock
going,
Holmes does.
Whoa. I think we have to jump,
Get
Watson.
that remarkable pig. Just so funny to me.
Yeah.
It happens out of nowhere too. Like you spend all your time in England and it's this cool cult and you're investigating it, and you go to America basically to do this one scene. It's really funny.
Oh man. That is an interesting game. And leans a little bit more into the intuitive detective work, I have to say, than this one does.
Yeah.
But they'd worked in this space before. Like Frogwares is a story developer.
Yes. Yeah. They were taken off the project.
Yeah.
In 2016. We don't know exactly why, but the game was given to Cyanide, who ended up making that game.
Yeah. So statements from Frogwares kind of indicate that the game that became The Sinking City, which was announced in 2016 around the time they were pulled off the project, was mostly what they had planned for that Call of Cthulhu game. They made some changes, and also just the fact that a good deal of Lovecraft stuff is in the public domain means that they didn't necessarily, like, there was no licensing really that needed to happen. Like, it's just the Call of Cthulhu name, and access to some of the writers, I think, and scenario people who have done like modules and stuff that is there. There was nothing really stopping them from taking their work and making it into a derivative product.
Yeah. And that's ends up making sense how much this feels like the tabletop game.
Yes.
Yeah. This started, the whole idea of this was them saying, like, what if we did a large open world explorable city? Which, as we mentioned previously, they didn't really do that.
Yeah.
But they are not the biggest developer in the world. So they had to do some kind of cost saving measures, one of which was using this ProcGen technique to create these city blocks.
Yeah.
They went in and modified these, but this, you can tell that this has the ProcGen anonymity.
Yes.
To a lot of these areas.
Yeah. It's a way for them to get a lot of the base work done, laid down for them automatically without, this is emulating games that have just gigantic teams of environment artists who, spend years and years developing entire cities or landscapes for people to go after. They were specifically going after like Assassin's Creed, which those games have the biggest teams ever. So other details about the development are pretty scarce. We're going to talk about what kind of the story of this game became. But what we do know is they rolled in systems from the other kind of like more recent or contemporary Sherlock games.
Yes. Yeah. So Frogwares originally was working with a company called Nacon, which is now called Big Ben, to publish the game on PC, PS4, Xbox in April 2020. The deal fell apart. Nacon did not pay. It does not seem like a good company. They don't come off well in this. And thus the game was pulled from these digital storefronts and had to like got restored many times, sometimes without the Frogwares credit on it.
Yeah.
So right now, Frogware publishes the version on the Switch.
Right.
And they're trying to buy back the other versions to publish them. But there's a lot of like all their old games disappeared for a minute. Like this was a whole rights and IP management fuck up. There's a video, there's a series called What Happened on YouTube that looks into troubled development. They have an episode on this where they don't talk about the development. They just talk about this legal nonsense.
Yeah.
It's a real jokey joke. So you have to be able to handle some razzmatazz in terms of video production. But if you can handle that, or if that is like a turn on or not a detriment to you, you may enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is educational at the very least.
Yes. Nacon not just taking the Frogwares credit off, but also like changing assets to say like, hey, it's a different game. Here you go. I will be really hesitant to pick up anything from Nacon, actually, from this point forward. Fortunately, they don't really make anything I want to play. So
no. It seems like they're real shits.
Yes. And it sucks because I want Frogwares to make money off of this game that they made. Like, for as much as we have problems with it, you deserve to make money when you sell a product to somebody. And there's enough good here that they deserve to be supported, you know?
Yeah. I like this video game.
Yes.
Like it's got monumental problems. It's got so many things that are wrong with it, but it's still like I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like it more than the other Call of Cthulhu game, which I'm a soft defender of.
Yes.
You know, that's more of just like a linear adventure game than this. It's one of those things where that doesn't have as many things holding it back as this does, but it also has more things bringing it forward. Like I think it's a better, plot in the moment to moment.
Yes.
Than that is.
Yeah.
This got like mediocre reviews, did not sell well. It got better reviews when they got, when they put together like a later version of it. So versions of this game you can play now are better than they were at launch.
Yes.
It is less glitchy.
Yeah. Frogwares has returned to making Sherlock Holmes games since this game came out. Kind of seems like that's their bailiwick and that's what they excel at. And I am curious, specifically about those ones that came out around the time this one came out.
What if they did Winnie the Pooh Consulting Detective or Dracula Consulting Detective?
Paddington Consulting Detective?
Oh, shit, only public domain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so Lovecraft and Sherlock Holmes.
Frankenstein's Monster Consulting Detective.
Like, I'd be into that.
Yeah?
Fire bad, clue good. A pitchfork. Curious. A torch? Plot thickens. Like I'd be extremely into that.
What I want is Frankenstein's monster in investigating other unethical super scientists.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I'm pretty sure there's a DC comic that's that.
Oh, neat.
Frankenstein is weirdly a DC character.
Huh.
Yeah, I would be way into that. So good for Frogwares. This makes it, if I had unlimited time and didn't play video games for work, I would pick up one of those Sherlock Holmes games and play the shit out of it.
Yep.
Because this did make me hungry for that version of them.
Same.
That's going to be it for the generalities portion of this. That means two things. One, if you're hearing this, this is the end of the episode. We appreciate you. If you want to hear the whole thing, go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. $5 a month gets you all of the episodes we've done that are premium, as well as a bunch of bonus shows. And we think it's worth it. Otherwise, though, we just thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week with the Dispatch.
Yeah. If you have things to say about this, you are hearing this on the public version. It is too late to write in about January's games. It is not too late to write in about February's games, which are Professor Layton and the Curious Village, Warhammer Dark Omen, and State of Decay. State of Decay being the premium episode for that month. Go to duckfeed.tv/contact and write in about those games. If you have thoughts about multiple games, please write in multiple responses. That helps us organize that episode.
Yeah. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.